Hi, my name is Jamie Stewart, and I'm joined by Matt O'Connor from Actuate Digital. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Jamie. You all right, buddy?
I'm very well. So
Good.
we were just talking about your amazing results last month. What were they?
Yeah, so nearly 150 grand's worth in sales last month, which was amazing. So the kind of 3 months up to it weren't too great. Obviously, we all know it's been a bit of a strange year.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff being thrown at us sideways and things not going to plan. So yeah, gone from 3 months of not selling anything to yeah, selling half of my kind of target in a month, which is great.
Awesome.
Sets us up really nicely for next year.
So we've been working together for the last couple of months on this to transform your sales, if you like. And how have we done that?
Well, sort of, we started working at the beginning of September because I kind of realised that I was getting far too busy, getting stuck in with the work that we had on from when we got busy at the beginning of the year, and not looking after and not nurturing the sales pipeline because I was too busy getting pulled into stuff. And we see it with a lot of businesses. It's easy to get drawn into the doing rather than the driving. So I started working with you because I needed someone to hold me accountable for what I was doing, and someone to kind of sense check what I was looking at, and to just help me really hone in where we were targeting, so that I could, rather than being specific, be pinpoint specific. So we started working together. We formulated what was really exciting us, what we were really good at. Changed a few things, modified a few targets we were looking at, and then I started off going off doing the work for that, and chasing down potential leads and opening up new connections and networking and moving further away from the doing, so that was being handled elsewhere. We were having weekly calls to make sure I'd done it, and if I hadn't, why hadn't I? And just adding that accountability, and that you do, as an owner manager, you don't get, because I'm a sole owner, so I don't have other directors to kind of go, but you said you were doing this. So having that extra voice to kind of go, have you done that? How'd it go? Right. What are you thinking about doing next? Are you sure that's right? All those echo chamber conversations that you normally have, we've been doing to keep me kind of focused on that goal and that target. So we're going into 2021 with, I believe, just under 200 grand contracted, which probably doesn't sound like a lot for a digital agency, but that's 2/3 of our yearly target already secured. So it means that I can get even more specific and more niche about what we're looking for, and really hone in on that, so that we're getting the right kind of work, not just the work that we can do.
And that's part of what we're working on right now, isn't it? So you're right. It's been a strange year, 2020. Your ideal client, your target market has changed, and we're in the process of just redefining that at the moment, aren't we?
We are, yeah, because I mean, we went into this year as predominantly a Magento only agency, and as long as it was e-commerce, and as long as the budget was there, it was kind of like, yeah, cool, you fit with us. And we started looking at that with you, and we realized that actually, no, we work better with goods that people want, not what they need. So we've started targeting kind of toy shops. Retail's always been good for us. Fashion, which we've obviously got a really long history of getting great results for. Kind of that homeware market, so your kitchens, your bathrooms, your tech, so like your smart devices. And the thing, you don't need it, but it makes your life a little easier. So we've really drilled down on that. Obviously, off the back of what we were talking about, we've gone out and found a new delivery partner. So we're now working with a company called Aero, so that we're not tied to one system, and we can apply what we're great at, which is that strategy of getting you from here, converting X and turning over Y, to here, where you're seeing a 200-300% increase on your conversion rates, and you're increasing your turnover by 1, 2, 3, 4 million in a short space of time. Because that's what we're great at. It's not and we work this out with you. It's not the fact that we know Magento, it's the fact that we understand e-commerce and how people behave with it. So we're unlocking that piece now, and we're moving away from being that, I suppose, that tech house, which is what we always were, because we always focus on the technology, to a true agency where it's about the strategy and it's about, we're guiding you from here to there, and the technology piece is just there to support that.
And I've seen a key part of it is, once you understand what you're looking for, you've then gone out and identified new referral partners that you can work with, taught them about your business so that they can get you the introductions that you want.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been a bit cutthroat, because there's been some referral networks that I'm part of that I've dropped because either they don't meet my values, or they're not the right people. Not that they're not bad, not that they're bad people, but in terms of where my ideal clients live, they're not sharing the same space. And again, the kind of people they're looking for, I'm not in that sphere, so I can't help them, because and it's not because I don't want to, it's just we're in different areas of business, and I can't help them. So yeah, so some bits have been put to the side, and the relationships are still there, but I'm not active in those networks anymore, so they're not draining my time. And then yeah, we've delved into new networks where there's probably a wider variety of people for us to start talking to and to start building those relationships with. And I suppose one of the big things that we worked on was actually the referral partnerships that we've got. So some of our referral partnerships aren't right anymore because they've evolved and they've moved into different areas, or COVID's changed the way that they're working, and they're not, that synergy probably isn't as strong as it used to be. But then by having conversations with other partners, it turns out that the synergy is now stronger, so we can actually do more to capitalize and help them, and in return they're more able and better positioned to help us now.
Okay, how do you feel now? Because I would imagine 3 months of not selling anything takes its toll on anybody that's involved in the sales process.
Yeah, I mean, it's stressful. I mean, mental health is a big one. I mean, we've seen a lot of that this year. People talk about mental health, and obviously being locked up in a 4 by 2 foot room because I can't go to the office doesn't help that. And being disconnected from my team and the guys that I rely on to really help us deliver this has been hard. So then, yeah, to follow that up with 3 months of not selling and worrying about paying wages, worrying about looking after my family and making sure that my family are getting what they need from me. Yeah, I mean, stress kind of doesn't really do it justice. It's quite a dark place you go to when you're at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so don't get me wrong, I'm not out of it, because I've still got my head on to go and hit those goals and to make sure that we're not going back to that place. But I feel a little lighter. That's probably the easiest way of describing it. Like, I've still got the pressure there, but that's pressure that I'm putting on myself now, rather than these external forces kind of forcing them on me. The pressure's now coming from me because I've got that drive now, and I'm still having weekly calls with you. And if I don't do what I've said I'm going to do, you're going to tell me off.
Because when you're the boss, it's easy. If you don't do something, no one's there to give you a hard time.
Oh no, I mean, I love my team, and like, whilst we get on, we can hold each other accountable. If I don't do something at that kind of steering the ship level, yeah. One, they're not really aware of what I do day to day to steer the ship and to drive us forward. And two, they're probably not going to speak up and say, "Did you chase that guy about potentially speaking to these guys?" Or, "Oh, did you polish off that the process that you put into the proposals?" Or, "Oh, did you manage to make that networking on Monday night?" They're not going to know. They're not going to know that kind of stuff. And if they do, yeah, it's, as much as we're a family organization in terms of we operate as a family, so we can have that accountability, we can have that kind of challenge. There is still that stigma that I'm the boss. They're not going to feel comfortable, I would imagine, saying that to me.
Yeah. The other thing that's been a big change this year is obviously working from home. So you've put a home office in place now. The team are all separate, and I think it's just changed the landscape for a lot. And we've had this conversation a few times. Having an office was like a pride.
Yeah, ego, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, again, we through the conversation, we had, I still want an office. I still want that co-working space.
Yeah.
But I no longer want the converted barn with the exposed brick and all the rest of it. It's more about, well, actually, it's just a functional space where we can all get together when we need to, and it's more of a tool for the business rather than a necessity. Because I mean, as you know, most of my team worked from home part of the week anyway, because of like family arrangements or needing to pick up the kids or whatever. And I suppose I was doing it when I was in there full time, but yeah, we've moved to this new way of working where we're all remote. I'm loving it because I get to take my daughter to nursery and pick her up from nursery. So that's major for me. I get so much more time with her, but then I'm still working the same amount of hours because I'm not traveling. I've still got that time to focus on what I'm doing and to push things. But yeah, like vision wise, yeah, we still do want the office at some point, but like I say, it would be more of a place to come together when we need to collaborate and we need to bounce off each other in real time rather than we need it because we need to show clients that we've got an office, we need to look good. I think clients will be more interested in the work that we do and the results that we deliver rather than, oh, you've got nice chairs. Which you do have a nice chair.
So thinking about going into the new year then, it's where we're at now. It's beginning of December that we're recording this. How do you feel about next year?
I'm really excited. I mean, obviously the sector that I work in, I suppose, has got a lot more focus this year because we do e-commerce and then we help. I say we do e-commerce. We help businesses sell online, which means that we produce e-commerce websites. And not a lot of people can react to that as quickly as maybe they wanted to this year. So next year is great because there'll be more of those businesses that are kind of coming out of this and looking to protect themselves from this happening again. So it'll be really great to work with those kind of companies and help them adopt a more omni-channel approach to selling. I mean, we're calling it commerce now because I think it's going to become the standard for businesses. It's not going to become a choice. It's going to be, well, actually, it's all part of the same sphere. So I'm really excited about helping those kind of businesses expand, add security, because if there is another lockdown, touch wood, there won't be, but if something happens where they can't open the doors to the shop, at least they've then got the digital presence to continue servicing those customers. But then also they've got the back office tools to be able to work from home and to be able to process those orders and to be able to keep the customer service going, because that's quite a key thing that I think a lot of people forget with the e-commerce is that actually the customer service side of it is still really important. And yeah, when you're transitioning really quickly from bricks and mortar physical locations to online, that customer service level has got to go with it. So yeah, giving our customers the tools to keep that going, to keep those conversations with the customers going, and to deliver an experience around what the customer wants. And I think that's the big thing. We still shop on the high street or at the complexes for the experience, and I think that's going to be the really beautiful piece of work that we'll be doing next year is adding the experience into these online solutions so that the customer feels comfortable, it feels nostalgic. It's like, oh yeah, this is what it's like when I shop with them, and that trust is there, and you've got that kind of, as cheesy as it sounds, that warm fuzzy feeling about buying from that brand, about staying loyal to that brand, and becoming a repeat customer, because that's the other thing that we really want to drive for customers is keeping those customers loyal and keeping them coming to them. We don't want them running off, no offense, Amazon, we don't want them running after you. We want them to stay with the Whitmore and Whites of the world, where you've got 3 shops and you've got a loyal brand base, and we want to keep driving that. And yeah, that's what I'm really excited about for next year. And we've got some great clients lined up to do that already. We've got some amazing conversations that have come off the back of the work that we've been doing together to help businesses do that next year. And yeah, I think that's the bit that we've always been excited about, and we've probably not focused on enough, is that engagement, because that's where you get the real results.
Yeah. And I think for most businesses this year, new client generation has been a challenge because we're not getting out to meet people. So the work that we've done on your strategy and the coaching, I think, has had a big impact on that. What would you say to somebody that was frustrated with their results in 2020 that was thinking about working with me and Dawn?
For something like that, I'd say, look, 2020 is what it was. 2020, it came out of nowhere. There was no way you couldn't plan for it. But 2021 is not going to be the same. And I suppose it'd be the same thing I'd say to my clients: plan now, get the tools in place to help you do what you need to do now. And if you're worried, or you're feeling anxious, or fearful of what you're going to do next year and how you're going to bounce back from what's happened, then having that sounding board, having somebody to kind of go, look, let somebody from the outside look in and share your vision, and to share your ideas, and to challenge those ideas, that's going to give you a lot more clarity and focus, because that's something we as owner managers struggle with, is keeping that focus on one space because we wear so many hats. But keeping that focus going, keeping that accountability, and that's not having a boss. That's not going back to what we've all escaped from, where we've got somebody above us barking orders. That's somebody saying, well, you said you were going to do this, so what we're going to do next week to make sure that we hit that, and being able to share the weight. So it is heavy, the crown that we wear when you're running your own business. It's not easy to take that burden on yourself, and just having somebody to share that with, to take it off you a little bit, so that you can focus on what your goals are, what your vision is, and what your win looks like for 2021. You guys are amazing at supporting that. And that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose that's the thing that probably people won't see, is that it's not about being taught, it's not about being led, it's about being collaborative, and you guys collaborate to help unlock what we already do well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Any business that's running is great at what they do. That's why they're doing it. They've already got the passion. That's why they're still doing it. They've got the quality. They've got all of that. They've already got the dream package. It's just we've lost focus, and we've lost somebody to collaborate with to keep us driving forward. And yeah, working with you guys will help anybody who's got those frustrations to overcome them. And yeah, I think anybody who works with you is going to have an amazing 2021, the same way that we are.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Matt.
My pleasure.